Hello, hello. Welcome to Mindset to Results. Today we have amazing guest, Mary. Oh, sorry. We will got that. Hello, hello. Welcome to Mindset to Results. Today we have amazing guest in our podcast show, Dr. Rochel Marie Lawson. She is what is going on? Sorry. My camera went on.
No worries.
What is going on? Oh. It is something new. Mhm. I will change camera. I don't know why, but it didn't on. Okay, let me just see. Mhm. Mhm. We'll put another camera. Sometimes we have this technical
Difficulties, yeah.
yes, that we never know when they happen, but I already know, and I have 3 cameras. So now I press camera. I press my video to on and it doesn't on. So I
Oh,
think
no.
I have to quickly just restart. So you just stay here. I will
Okay.
leave and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Just yeah,
welcome.
we'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Mhm. Yes, I don't want this camera. Okay, we can use this one, I think.
You're almost done. Click the Add to Chrome button, then click Add Extension to continue.
I'm frozen. Yes, it is. I just got frozen. Yes. Sorry.
No worries.
Yes, Rochel, I had to restart computer. Okay. Hello, hello. Welcome to Mindset to Results. Today we have amazing guest at our podcast show, Dr. Rochel Marie Lawson. She is an international best-selling author with more than 30 years experience and achieved a lot in her business and career and helped so many people. Hi, Dr. Rochel.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thank you so much for being a guest at our podcast.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, I really appreciate people who uh, put time to share their experience, wisdom, knowledge at our podcast. So other people who are looking for more in their lives and looking for growth and success can learn from you and your experience. And it means so much.
Oh, well, thank you. Happy to share whatever I can to help someone achieve their dreams is what I'm here to do.
Yeah, thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you find your purpose and how did you find what you really love to do and what helped you to achieve success in so many different areas of life?
Well, when I was a little girl, I always knew that I wanted to grow up and be a business owner and be able to work anywhere around the world. Now, when I was growing up, was early, long time ago, in the 70s, and the technology we have today was not even in sight for any of us at that time. But I just always knew I wanted to grow up and be a business owner and I wanted to be a boss. That's what I used to say. I want to be a boss. So over the course of me growing up, I, dived in a variety of things. I have obviously 6 degrees, but I got an electrical engineering degree after finishing my first undergraduate degree and couldn't get hired as an electrical engineer in Silicon Valley. And so I went back to school and got a nursing degree and was a registered nurse, working as a registered nurse and doing emergency room trauma nursing. And I love taking care of people. That has been a natural gift of mine since I was a little girl, being able to see illness and disease in people and share that information with them. So long story short, I was working nights. My husband was working days. I didn't see him. We were like 2 passing ships. So I told him one day as I was coming in from work and he was getting ready to go out, I said, we could start a business ourselves. And that's kind of how my first business, All Day Cable Inc., the telecommunications installation company, which is the first woman-owned, minority-owned telecom installation company in the United States, began. And we started that business, and within 2 weeks, we had some very large customers, and within 4 weeks, we had more customers, 7 of the big 8 accounting firms in San Francisco. So that business took off. I continued doing my registered nursing at night, and I went down from full-time to part-time to per diem because I really did love taking care of people and helping them with their health and well-being. And because I had my own journey with my health and well-being for 17 years, where I was pretty sick, but faked feeling well a lot, I knew about holistic practices that could also help people along with Western medicine practices. And so I began sharing that with my patients in the emergency department, and thus became the second business, Blissful Living for You, that focuses on wellness, wisdom, and wealth so that we can have and live the life of our dreams. I do believe that wellness is our greatest asset. Without wellness, you can't live the life of your dreams. And in order to have wellness, you have to have a mindset or wisdom in order to understand when you're out of balance and things you need to do to bring things back into balance. And this not only works for your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being, but for the well-being of your business as well. So the two kind of just melded together, and And so I continue to do both of them, sharing wisdom on the business part as well as the health and well-being part. And then that all culminates into us being able to generate wealth in our lives so we can have sustainability and leave a legacy for our future generations.
Yeah, great. So you shared so much just in what you said. So let's just go a bit deep dive to some of what you just said, that it is important to understand that you might not have balance if you don't see results you want. So how to find that balance, because many people are not aware about that, right? They just live according to their like different programs, what they were told, who they are, and having goals which they never questioned because those goals were set by other people, or maybe they saw other people successful what they do and they think, oh, if those people do that, I will do that also. So how really to find who you are and what is the balance? Yes, like what is the balance that you can say, yes, now, yeah, I know, like everything is aligned, yeah, and everything is in harmony.
Well, I think first of all, I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and we both agree that everyone has their unique individual talent. And when you understand that you have a unique individual talent, even though it may seem similar to what someone else is doing, there's no one that can do it like you do. So for instance, there's a gazillion nurses in the world. Around the world, there's a gazillion nurses. We all learn the discipline of medicine, right? And how to take care of our patients. But each of us, whether we're all ER trauma nurses or, med-surg nurses or telemetry or ICU nurses, each of us has a unique essence that we bring in to the discipline of nursing that our patients experience. Mine just happened to be, I'm really intuitive. And so I can see things within the patient that may not be standing out front, or that might not be as prevalent to the medical physician. So my gift is being intuitive and being able to help the medical physicians, the doctors, to see something that they might be missing. Another thing is I practice holistic medicine, Ayurveda, and I've been practicing that for a long, since I was a kid. And so I incorporate that wisdom into when I'm doing nursing, to assist my patients and my physicians to help the patient have a better outcome. So maybe they can get discharged from the emergency department instead of getting admitted to the hospital. So basically, we all have our own unique essences. I don't care if you're doing the same business as 17,000 other people, no one can do it like you. And when you're balanced in your mind, that unique essence will stand out front right here as if it's like right in front of your eyeballs. And I say one of the ways that a person can become balanced, and we've all heard this, is to meditate. And it doesn't have to be a long meditation. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic, or you can just literally, before you get out of bed, the moment you wake up, meditate on what you want to focus on for the day. Meditate on what you want to bring into your life for the day. Meditate on what you want to accomplish or something you want to help someone with. Just meditate on something for that particular day. And when you hop out of bed, that meditation or that thought that you had, that you focused on when you were meditating, is right here front and center. So all throughout your day, I like to say the divine connection will bring instances into your day that taps into what you meditated for. So basically, you have to have balance. A lot of people are operating out of balance and don't even know how to recognize when they're out of balance. And that's where Ayurveda comes in for me, as well as those that I share it with, because we all have a unique essence. Just like I said, anyone can be doing the same job, but we have bring our unique talent to it, our unique essence. We all have a unique essence. And learning how to discover, learning how to notice when your unique essence is out of balance is the first step. and then learning what you can do to restore the balance in your unique essence is the second step. And then once you restore the balance, then everything you set out to do, everything that comes into your mind that falls in line with your unique essence and your goals for the day, the month, the week, the year, whatever it may be, will become so much easier to accomplish when you're in a balanced state.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Interesting that you found that connection between Ayurveda and balance. Would you like to share more what like other people who are listening to us can also maybe use those Ayurvedic principles? Yeah, because
Yeah, I would love to. So first of all, Ayurveda has what they call doshas, and doshas are your unique essence. Your dosha is not like anyone else's in the world. It may be similar, like the composition, the predominant dosha might be the same, but your unique essence is like unlike anyone else in the world. And the reason being is because your dosha is created the moment the egg allows the sperm to come into the egg and fertilize it. The moment that fertilization of that egg takes place, that's when your dosha is created. So the predominant doshas in Ayurveda are Vata, which is comprised of ether and air, Pitta, which is comprised of fire and earth, and Kapha, which is comprised of earth and water. And so when you think about the qualities of air and ether, air is very light, it's very airy. And when air is out of balance, that's when we have tornadoes and hurricanes and disturbances in the atmosphere, right? So you think about your mind as being the atmosphere. When you're out of balance, you have turbulence, so to speak, in your mind. And that's one way you can notice if you're out of balance, particularly if you're a Vata. Predominant dosha. As for Pitta, the fire is the dominant thing. So when you think of a volcano, you think of when the volcano is just sitting there, it's balanced, it's calm, it's at a peaceful state. But when things begin underneath the surface to get volatile and disrupted, and the volcano erupts, then that's like Pitta. If fire comes to the surface, and it can be very tense, meaning you're very sharp, you're very pointed, you're short, you have no patience, things of that nature. So when Pitta is out of balance, you experience qualities such as what I just described. And then Kapha is more stable, it's earth and water. So when you think of earth and water, think of sand, or think of the banks along a river. When they are out of balance, saying it's being inundated by too much water, then it becomes a flood, it becomes mushy, it becomes unstable, it becomes, just a mess. Or when there's too much earth, it becomes very stagnant. There's no movement, there's no expansion or contraction. And so when you think of Kapha, people that are out of balance with Kapha, they become stuck. They procrastinate. They're melancholy. They're lethargic, slow to make changes, or very hesitant or stubborn to make changes. And so if you notice any of those qualities within you, then you know that your Kapha, your predominant dosha, is out of balance. Now you can find out what your dosha is. You can go to my website, blissfulliving4u.com, and take the dosha quiz, and you will find out, it'll ask you a series of questions, and then you'll be able to find out your primary, secondary, and tertiary dosha if you have a composition of 3, or your primary and secondary if you have a composition of 2. But you'll be able to find out your predominant dosha, which brings to you a wealth of information and creates an understanding of why you do the things you do, why you do them the way you do them, and why you feel a certain way when you're out of balance, stressed, irritated, days not going well, all these kinds of things, and how you can handle it by restoring balance back into your dosha.
yeah, this is very interesting. So when people understand and find out what is their predominant dosha, how they can bring that balance back, yeah, how they can from that knowledge.
So some of the things when you go to my site, blissfullivingforyou.com, and you take the dosha quiz, you get a packet, I want to say a nice gift of information that helps you to, one, understand the types of foods you should be eating, because all of this, everything we absorb in the world and how we live has an effect on our dosha. So what we eat, what we're exposed to, you know, how we process things, all of this information is given to you when you take the dosha quiz, and then you'll get a better understanding of where you are. You'll see what you're doing. You'll see like, okay, I'm a little bit of this and I'm a little bit of that, and I don't feel excited. I don't have a zest for life. I feel stuck. I'm stressed, or I'm depressed, or whatever it may be. And then that's when you know that you're out of balance. Now, there are some things that you can do within this packet: meditations, affirmations, exercises, of course, taking in the right foods to keep your dosha balanced. But for a more in-depth analysis and more depth assistance, you can reach out to me for sure. And I say this is for your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, but also I use Ayurveda and the Ayurvedic principles for business as well, and business owners, because each of our businesses has a dosha, and each person that works in our business is comprised of a dosha, right? So making sure that that person is doing the right job that aligns with their dosha, that helps to make them successful, and they ebb and flow, it's what they love to do, is really important for the stability and growth and abundance within our businesses as well. So yeah, you can use them for your health and well-being, as well as the health and well-being of your business.
Yes, this is so interesting. Yeah, what you just said, because everything, all changes starts from knowledge, from realizing something, who you are, from studying yourself. And
Right.
this is a great tools to help people to learn more about themselves.
Yes. When we go to school, we go to college, no one teaches us about how to learn about ourselves and how to learn how we naturally ebb and flow in the world, right? We go to school, we learn mathematics, we learn, language, we learn English, how to write, how to read, how to, do science and all these different things. But no one teaches us about us and how we can ebb and flow, and how we should ebb and flow in life based on our unique essence. When you have this information, it becomes such a game changer, because all those things you thought were weird or a little bit different about you, you'll discover that they're actually natural tendencies for your dosha. And when you tap into your natural tendencies, it allows you to be, I want to say, it opens up, instead of it being on a page, you get a whole book or a whole abundance, encyclopedia journals with information that's related to you, and it brings an awareness right here. And now you have a better understanding of why things happen the way they did, why you respond the way you do, whether you're in balance or out of balance, how to correct, how to notice when you're out of balance. And it just makes you to be able to be a much better person with more confidence, wisdom, success, as you travel down your path to bliss. So it becomes such a game changer. No one teaches us that in school. They don't teach us about us. They teach us about everything external of us. And then we're supposed to try to figure it out and how it in tunes and flows with our, with us and what we do.
Yes, I like how you said that everyone has their unique essence. Yes, and when we look at our photos when we were small children, and when we just, or other people when they're children, we can see like that essence in their eyes, in their faces, because when they're small and on those photos, it looks like all the world is just for them, and they're so open to dream, to visualize and see themselves. Somebody thinks that he will be a pilot, somebody thinks that he will be singer, somebody else also see themselves who they want to be. And it was so easy to dream. We were small because we were allowed that essence to come on the surface, and we were allowed to be who we were. And later, we got so many layers putting on us. It's like other people telling us who we were or who we were not. And through that conditioning, I would say through this education, which has to be for people and to know themselves. Because if you have all the knowledge of the world but don't know yourself, what value it has? Yeah, because it is like having so many different clothes which is not your size, so you can't put them on yourself. Yes, and when people put clothes on themselves which is not their size, it means that they live life which is not created by them, which is not aligned with their true essence. When other people decided who they want to become or what is good or bad for them, or decisions which they have to make, and this is how many people live in the disbalance, but they are not aware of that. They just think that
Right.
it's just life. This is just like some people say, okay, what I can do, this is what I have to do. I have family to take care, and this is only what they know. But when we have such conversations, it opens so much.
Yes, I agree. You mentioned something really key. When we're kids, we make believe, we dream, we imagine, we visualize, we do all these things that are important. I visualized me as a little girl. My nickname was Princess. And so I thought I was a princess in training to be a queen. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I grew up in, I want to say by the time a child hits third grade, they start to lose that imagination, the visualization, the daydreaming, because there's external influences. You playing with your friends. If you say something, let's pretend like we're, bosses of a business, or let's pretend like we're astronauts. The kids start looking at you like you're weird, right? So we begin to lose that capacity and ability to daydream and imagine and visualize and pretend. And it's all in that daydreaming, imagining, visualizing, pretending that our greatest gifts are available to us. But because as we age, like you said, we get focused on, we have to take care of our families. You tell someone something and they're like, you can't do that. That's not realistic. Or, you share things with people and they shut you down. So you don't share anything with anybody, but then you also don't continue to dream, imagine, visualize. It's in the context of all of that blocks us from being our unique self and showing up as our unique essence in the world, because we're programmed to go to school, get a good education, finish school, get married, get a job, have a family, work, 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 retire, and then die. That's pretty much the programming we have. And when you deviate from that programming, people look at you different. But when you deviate from that programming and you tap into your imagination, your visualization, you daydream, the stuff that you do when you were a kid, it opens up a world of unlimited possibilities for you. So when I think about that, I think about someone like Elon Musk, who probably did a lot of daydreaming, visualization, imagination as a kid, but somehow he was able to hold on to that as he began aging, and he was able to turn his vision and imagination, his daydreaming, into the products of his businesses that we see today. And, who would have thought even in the 90s that we would be driving electric vehicles, right? That was stuff that you saw on TV when they were showing like astronauts on the moon or something like that. It wasn't something that we had a capacity to grasp, because we don't, we lost our imagination. We don't tap into it. But there are those that still do it. And when you do that, the possibilities for whatever it is you're doing in life become unlimited.
Yeah, so true. Everything, whatever people created and what we now see as a part of our life, like light, airplanes, as electric cars, as you mentioned, this is all just became reality only because someone was there to dream. Yeah, because
Right.
everything is created twice. We don't get anything in physical world which was not a dream before. Yes, and really the progress and everything new in the life happens by dreamers who can see those things in their imaginations much earlier than other people can see with their physical eyes. Yes, and this is so important because we were created as a image of God also to create our reality. And so many people don't understand that they are creators. Yes, of course, we cannot create planets or something make in like new something new form of creatures, of course, but we can create our life. And this so true, as you said, that if we just believe and if we develop those muscles, yes, those imagination and which that gives us ability to see things as real, because we can imagine everything and we don't need to have anything physical to create something in our imagination, and ability to hold that image, hold that picture for a long time and giving it energy and building that in your mind according to the law of perpetual transmutation of energy brings that things as in physical form. This is how manifestation happens. Yeah, but those people who know this, they really live in that imagined reality. They don't see things in this current situation. They live there, they see themselves there, and that is their reality. Yeah, because this is only the way how you create new reality, that you think from that place. You become that person already. Yes, and being that person, you start thinking like that person, feeling, acting, and this is how you start taking actions, and other, of course, invisible forces come to help you to make it real.
Yes, you said something beautiful. A lot of I know this is, I don't know, maybe back in the early part of the 2000s or late 1990s. Can't remember exactly, so I might be a little off. But the law of attraction. The law of attraction became this big thing, and there was the movie The Secret and the books The Secret and all of this stuff, which was great because it brought some of the information to the forefront. But what it didn't do is bring the correct information. It had people thinking if you just wish for something, basically, you could have it, you can manifest it, but that's not really true. And so when you think about what we're talking about, like imagination, visualization, what I learned from everything from a lot of books that I've read is everything started with someone imagining it. This computer that we're using, someone imagined that we would be able to have a computer that helps us in our day. Zoom, so to speak. Someone imagined that we would be able to talk to people anywhere around the world on our computers and see them face to face, right? And so it was like an imagination. They imagined it, and then they imagined they took it deeper, and they begin visualizing what would it look like if I had a computer? What would a computer look like? What would it look like if I created a program where I could talk to someone on the other side of the world via my computer, right? And then when you do the imagination visualization, what it does, it helps you to set an intention. If you visualize you want to lose 50 pounds, you can visualize how you would look at 50 pounds, right? You can imagine it, visualize it, you set an intention. Okay, I'm going to, work on losing 50 pounds. Once you set an intention, you become laser focused. And what the law of attraction didn't tell us was those 4 steps. Then becomes the attraction. You start magnetizing to you what you intend, what you visualize, what you imagine, visualize, set an intention for, focus. You start magnetizing that energy to you. And once you begin magnetizing that energy, it becomes an attraction because now you're ebbing and flowing in harmony with what you initially visualized. And eventually that visualization turns through all of those steps becomes a manifestation. The person who visualized the computer, they did all those steps to get to where we are today to actually have the manifestation of the computer, or the visualized Zoom. They may have just thought, oh, you know, back in the day, in the United States, we had Star Trek that we would watch. And Star Trek, you know, was I guess there were astronauts going to different planets and different galaxies and things of that nature. You know, someone visualized that, and look, you know, that I watched Star Trek when I was a kid in the 70s. And so today it's a reality. You know, we can, you know, talk to people on different sides of the world via our computers. And so I think it starts with, you know, just imagining and daydreaming and tapping back into the visualizations, and not feeling bad for that, because within the context of us doing that, it opens up our greatest assets. It opens up what is true to our heart and souls that we want to create. Even if it sounds far-fetched, it opens it up for us, and it helps us to recreate that which is beyond our external reality. We can tap into our internal reality, into our mind, and tap into the divine universal mind, so to speak, and live and do and feel how we want to be. But we just have to remember we need to go back to imagining, visualizing, and you know, daydreaming. It all starts there.
Yes, yes. So, right, what we think about this is who we become, and everything starts from thoughts initially. Yeah, what you have in your mind, this is what you will have in your hand. But of course, it is not just one law. There are a lot of different laws, and law of attraction is secondary law, and the first law is the law of vibration. Yes, so
Yes.
we have to first we when we visualize that picture and we see ourselves in that picture, and more time we spend in that picture, they impress it in our subconscious mind. So this is how we start when we see ourselves. Yes, this is how we start believing our subconscious mind through repetition, because it doesn't differentiate what is real and imagined. It starts believing that this is our reality. So this is how our vibration changes. Yes, when we start seeing ourselves there, it impacts the way we feel and impacts the way we act. So our actions become different, and action cause reaction, and this is how our results change. So this all starts in mind, as in our ability to see things beyond our current physical reality and fuse into that frequency. As like it is jumping to different channel, because our brain like a station which receives and sends signals. So the way how we think, it is like we are tuned to certain frequency, to certain channel, and we receive everything. Our real life, our current 3D reality is in that diapason of that channel. So when we dream about something, it's just totally different channel, right? So we have to flip frequency like we do it by radio from AM to FM, and then we hear totally different programs, right? So everything is here, so we just change the frequency, nothing else. And this is exactly how when we get that image in our mind, we get so excited, and we start seeing ourselves and thinking about this, what we will do and whatever else. This is how literally our frequency changes, and we just find out ourselves in different channel. And when we jump to that channel and aligned our body frequency aligned with our goal frequency, that the picture, this is how we start see different programs. This is how we meet different people. Okay, something happens that we never thought about that even. And yeah, so this is all happens like a miracle. But when we understand the law of vibration as the primary law, then we know why it happens. And of course, when we change our frequency, this is how, as you said, we become magnet and start attracting new things which are at the same channel. Yeah, frequency. Yeah, this is really so fascinating when we learn about this, and this ability for everyone to create their own life. Yes, and You don't even need to know how you will do that. All you want to do is just to fuse and become that person, start thinking, feeling, acting as that person. And this is how your mirror, yes, like our reality, it is like a reflection of what is going inside. So when you change inside, and you start creating new standards for yourself, you start seeing yourself that you are able to do much more and what you do. So this is how you change inside, and this reality is just reflection, and also it start matching your new picture which you create.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. It's amazing, you know, when you really think about energy, frequencies, vibration, and how important they are in our daily lives because they're invisible. It's not something we really often think about, but just because they're invisible doesn't mean that they don't have a profound effect on our lives. And when you tap into the right energy, the right vibrations, the right frequencies that are in alignment with what you're visualizing, imagining, daydreaming, it becomes a whole, instead of like one pair of shoes, it becomes a whole big store full of shoes and opportunities, and the possibilities do become unlimited.
Yes, just imagine if children were taught this from kindergarten school, if they would be encouraged to dream and believe that this is reality, that it can be true. So just think how many things we would have now, which would come from those dreams and those creativity, if people would just support it and will ensure that they can do that, go for that. Yes, the world would be such a different place. And unfortunately, so many dreams just get buried in those young age, and then children totally conditioned to think logically, know how you want to get there. Yes, like why they just dreaming, come back, be present, listen to me, read the book, repeat the book, what you learned, just read, repeat. Yes, and this is how we really get disconnected from our true self. And some people just live all their life and never connect, right? Never connect, never live really life that they would like to live, just thinking
Right.
this is just what it is. Yeah, and okay, when I get retired, then maybe I will do something that I love to do. That I find that it is so wrong to live life that doesn't bring you that joy of what you do and doesn't bring you fulfillment. I think there is so much more that people can do really when they are young, when they have that power. Yeah, and when so much years they have to create what they only, as you said, that nobody can be like you. So if they just think that there is nobody like me, how valuable I am if I just create something that doesn't exist because it is only given to me, right? And unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, so many people just take all those talents and gifts unrealized to the funeral with them. Yes, and we know that when people are asked what you regret, they don't say that they regret about something that they did wrong and failed. Yes, we know that they said that they regret that they had opportunity and they didn't go for that. And yes, so it is really great to think about, like, why I live, what is my life for, what I really want to do to feel that fulfillment and be happy.
Absolutely, you're right. I'm totally in agreement with you. There are so many people that I've come across, and you know, just in living. My mother was one. She wanted to be a nurse, but somewhere along the way, it got squashed when she was young, and she didn't pursue that dream. And you're right. In the deathbed, people are not thinking about, oh gosh, they don't have regrets about what they did. They have regrets about what they didn't do, what they wanted to do, and they didn't do. And then, we work all our lives and then we retire. And when we retire, when you think about it, most people live to maybe, I'm going to say women, most women live to maybe 85 nowadays, and men, maybe 80, maybe even late 70s. So if you're retiring, it's in your 60s, you really only have 10, 12, 15 years more, and it's sad because we should be living our lives doing what we want to do, and not stopping ourselves from doing what we want to do because someone thinks that we're living in a fantasy. We should be allowing ourselves to do whatever we want to do because it's our dream. It's something we imagine. And I love what you said about, keeping kids when, from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, have a moment in the day, a period where all they do is they sit and they imagine and they visualize and they daydream for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then have a discussion. Johnny, what did you imagine? Oh, I imagine that I can, fly to Saturn. Oh, okay. Tell us a little bit more about that, with no one laughing. Or, Rebecca, what did you imagine? What did you see? What was you daydreaming about? Oh, I daydreamed that I'm going to be the first woman president, or whatever it may be. And just keep that going throughout school. And I think by the time children graduate from high school, it would be such a different world, because they wouldn't go to college and do something that their parents suggest they do, or society pressures have suggested they do. They may not even go to college. They may just start living their dream, their fantasy, creating those visualizations from their imaginations into reality. And then maybe some might go to college, but I think it would be so different to be able to live our lives like that.
Yes, yes. And this is just such a small shift. As you said, 15 minutes a day when they dream, when they maybe even draw pictures, imagining, and other people say, yes, you can do that. Yes, I believe in you. You just imagine like 30 people and like one sharing and 29 people will say, yes, it is so great idea. Go for it. And this only, it would be every day 15 minutes only. It would make such a huge difference in
Oh
their
my
life.
gosh, it would. I think our world would be such a different and better place. I don't think we would have so many people struggling from mental health challenges. I think we would have a much more happier society. And, of course, you're always going to have some elements in there that are not in alignment and flow with the harmonistic energy. But I think we would have less of that and more happiness, joy, peace, less hate, less
Mhm.
anger and aggression, because they're able to live the life of their dreams, it was all because they were able to, do it in school and daydream it, and do something that they really love to do versus something that they're forced into doing because of societal pressures.
Yes, because they will know that they are unique, right? That they're genius and they have something unique only for them. So they would not compare themselves with anybody else, right? So this is how it will not be negative emotion if somebody succeed, because they will celebrate that person's success and other will celebrate their success. Yeah, so it is really doesn't take so much. It is just a little bit shift, but how everything can change that environment. And also at companies and corporate, this culture can change so much just implementing these things, because it is not only for schools. In every company it can be culture to start the day from 10 minutes imagination, visualization, your own, and also company goals, how the team can achieve together and how they see that
Yeah.
success. And then they encourage each other to create in that energy, enthusiasm, when they like support each other, believe, yes, I believe in you, yes, you can do that. yeah, this can change so much.
I agree. I like that idea with the companies and the teams to, go to work and before, you start, your team or whatever, or the company wide, the first 10 minutes, or I know people start at different times during the day now. Not everybody starts at 8 o'clock, but you know what I'm saying? That first 10 minutes is like quiet time and you just focus on, okay, spend this time daydreaming, visualizing, imagining what you want, what comes up. And then when you have your teams, before you start the team meeting, take the first 10 minutes and just, okay, we're meeting about, how to create, turn marshmallows into cars or whatever it may be. But the whole team has that first 10 minutes when they're in the room together to just visualize, imagine, daydream about, what the team is setting out to accomplish, and then start the meeting. It would be amazing. I guarantee it would be such a game changer for businesses around the globe, because everything would be operating in a harmonistic flow and be tapping into the energy, the vibrations, the frequencies, imagination, visualization, and daydreaming. And it would all come together in such a beautiful, beautiful synchronicity.
I mean,
See, me and you, we've just solved the problems of, so anybody listening to this podcast, watching us, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, those ladies were right on. I'm going to start incorporating it. I'm thinking about like my team. It's like, for my telecom company, everybody's out in the field working on projects and stuff. And so what if what if I incorporate it into wherever they get to and they're on the job site, for 5 minutes, we all just get on, call, so to speak. Everybody calls in and for 5 minutes, we just sit on the call and we, daydream or visualize, imagine about the projects or the project that we're working on, what we might encounter, what we may not encounter, what challenges may come up, how do we circumvent, whatever it is, and then go off and, they go to work, I'd go do my work, everybody does their work. I think it could be definitely a potentially positive game changer for the business as well.
definitely, definitely. When they started, they having that picture in their mind clear and see
Yes.
themselves in that picture as a team, what they achieve, and of course how it relates to their personal goals. Yes, how connect their personal goals with their big company goal. And when they are in that picture, this will so impact their energy, how they communicate. They will not compete anymore. They will create, they will collaborate. So they will become really team, not just group of people who are just thinking different things. Yeah, this is very important. This is what we speak about frequency. Yes, frequency and energy. Energy is everything. And for people to be in that flow state, they have to see that picture in their mind and have that real. So if it is everyday practice, this is all what will start happening. Initially they don't see it, or maybe they have doubt, or they think, oh, maybe I will not be able, but maybe it will fail. So if they will do it even 5 minutes every day, this picture will get impressed in their subconscious mind, and this is how they start believing, oh yes, this can be possible. And then in 30 days they say, oh, I see this, yes, it is real, I already know how this will be. And this is how this change happens, is when people can see clear in their mind that success. It is like all athletes, like world champions, they first practice in their mind to do that, and they hold that gold medal already. They see themselves do
Yes.
that, what they supposed to do in competition. They do it so many times in their mind. So when time comes to real competition, they already did this so many times that it just becomes their reality. And this is how subconscious mind just matches reality with that picture which was created before.
I agree. I mean, great analogy. I mean, think about all the athletes and, they all saw themselves in those moments and saw themselves being successful over, thousands of times. They all saw themselves, think of Serena Williams or Tiger Woods or Stephen Curry. They all saw themselves in those moments, the track and field athletes, they all saw themselves in those moments crossing that finish line first. And they've done it so many times that when it gets to that point where they're actually doing it, they do it. And I think that's beautiful. I think this has been just such a great conversation. I love it. It even got me thinking. It's even got me thinking, okay, like, when we're done, I'm gonna, I meditate every day anyways, but maybe I'll, set a little bit more intention, or maybe I'll just daydream like I did when I was a little girl playing with my Barbie dolls, Um, just you never know what may come out of it, but it will be a beautiful experience and definitely would be good for my mental and physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being for sure.
Yes, of course, you have that women club podcast. You can create even a group where you can meet every day 5 minutes with other women and do that, and you see such it will impact so many lives.
Oh, yes.
It's 5-10 minutes a day, but just like a club where you uh, do that together because it has to be consistent. So you can encourage each other to do that, and then important when everyone shares that other people tell them that yes, you can do that, yes, I can see this yourself already there. So this is yes, like some people, they don't believe in themselves, so it is so important that they can borrow someone else who believe in
Yeah,
them. And this what gives them that fuel to just go for that and start saying that. And if you do it every day, even 5-10 minutes, it will make such a huge change.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yes, you see, like sometimes women in the kitchen can create some good ideas, and
I do that all the time. I have no idea what I'm going to cook, and I just go in there and cook, and it just comes to be this wonderful tasting dinner. And it's like, did you think about you were going to do this? Like, no, I just started going in and creating, and lo and behold, it turned out yummy.
yes, this is happens when minds connect together. Yes, and it creates other ideas. Yes, this is the also importance of the mastermind, because
Yes.
connect with different minds. It is just becomes some such as energy, just generating new ideas, new insights. And I always enjoy speaking with our guests because we all episode becomes like a masterpiece and coming just amazing, yeah, like something just in a flow.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been so much fun and very enlightening. It's the kind of conversations I like to have because it
Yeah.
just opens up my mind for the unlimited possibilities. So it helps me to remember that no matter what's going on in your day, just take a moment and just spend some time daydreaming, visualizing, imagining, tapping into that energy. And on the other side of that moment, you will have a much more happier, beautiful, productive, unlimited possibility day.
Yes, yes, because we can create new things only when we learn how to detach from current 3D reality. Because
Yes.
we can create new only when we mentally are in that new picture. Yes, so this practice helps us to be in that picture more and more, like living in
Yes.
this current reality, but seeing it already from that place, like and becoming that person already. Yes, so this is what makes this happen.
Oh, yes, I agree. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you to Dr. Rochel. It was so great to have you. And yes, you were an amazing guest. And thank you for your sharing about Ayurveda. And I learned a lot from you today. And definitely, I will visit your website. We'll do that quiz to learn more about my dash, which is dominant in me, to know more how I can balance even better.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to meet you again in our future episodes so we can create something new again.
Yes, and open up the minds to even more unlimited possibilities. I know we can do it. I'm already visualizing that. So yes, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, maybe we will create that women club and just invite
Yes, that's a
good
great
women guys.
idea. Yes. Thousands, eventually we'll have thousands of women around the world tuning in for 5 minutes in the morning in the collective mind.
Yes,
Just
yeah, that's
imagining.
the
Yeah, I
idea.
think that would be beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll speak to you soon.
Okay, bye.